Hey everybody, Spencer here with a brand new video talking all about more Atlas news. So, on Friday, Atlas has finally announced, after leaking all over the place and being a big old messy boy, that Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD Remaster, what a title, is finally coming out in the West, May 25th, 2021. This should be good news. Why is this video negative? Why does Spencer have to complain about everything, you may be asking? I'm asking myself the same question. It's a whole thing. I'm really all over the place. I've been working on this video in my head pretty much like the last 3 days. It's just been such a weird case because, like, I've been going through a lot of stuff in my personal time, but, like, this one has just been such a weird case of, like, I am so excited to play this game. I love Nocturne. Nocturne is such a great game. I love the soundtrack. I love the way it looks. I'm so excited for an English voice cast. I'm excited to play this on a system with trophies. I'm excited for this to be on new systems coming to Switch. They just announced the PC version. Dun dun dun, surprise, blah blah blah, Unity game is coming to PC. But yeah, it's coming to PC, it's coming to Switch, it's coming to PlayStation 4. It's going to be awesome playing this on my PS5. I'm super, super excited. Why am I so mad at this, though, with all of the news? Like, literally, almost all of the news that came out, besides the release date, I was like, this is stupid. This was all stupid, and I could not get enough of it. So, quick little rundown. Besides the release date, what is there to know? Obviously, the game is coming out on the 25th of May, 2021, on all systems. Besides that, important things to know. The base game is $50. And this is all going off US pricing. I know pricing is all over the place, but this will be mainly referring to US pricing. Base game just comes with everything that came in the Japanese version. So, the Raito is in the base game for all systems. That is included for free. But if you hate yourself and money and want to play this game 4 days early, because of course let's keep this terrible trend, Atlas has decided to do the best EA impression of all time, at least as of a couple years ago, and gave us a digital deluxe edition. So that means if you hate physical copies, want to play this game 4 days early, and have it come with the Maniacs pack, aka the Dante edition, have the DLC maps, which are literally just the do you want to level up quicker and do you want more money quicker maps, and do you want all of the background musics from Shin Megami Tensei 1, 2, 4, and 4 Apocalypse. That's included there. And because they realize they're terrible at showing off value, they also include the Merciful difficulty in the Digital Deluxe pack, but that's also free. So yeah, not a great look of, hey, let's include the thing that everyone kind of wants for free, bad DLC maps, cool music packs, and a baby mode for babies of, hey, if you want to play it on Merciful, but from everything I've done, Nocturne on Merciful is like so baby mode, like you would really have to hate RPGs to find it enjoyable. It does take a lot of the fun out of it, like unless you want to just beat it really, really fast. But hey, there are merits for all of it being there. Whatever, go for it. So yes, main point of this video, why I am a little bit salty. Also, a weird little tangent. There was no new trailer officially released on Friday, but they did have a new trailer featuring the voice acting, and just kind of left it at that, of like, okay, they uploaded it on Steam, and then took it off for some reason, and that was about it. So, really, really weird. The whole situation is just like, okay, again, I should be excited about this. It's one of my favorite PS2 games of all time. It's Shin Megami Tensei, finally getting a release. Obviously, there's such a mixed bag without even getting into the price, but I think the price is just such an important thing to kind of jump on, of like, why does this like jab at me so weird? So, without talking about other game companies or anything, I just first want to get into, why does this feel yucky to me? And one of the biggest reasons this feels yucky to me, and someone actually brought this up, I don't remember where the comment was, but it was somewhere on like YouTube, and someone had mentioned in a post I'd asked about, and said, you know what, they know exactly what they're doing by charging this at $50 and not including Dante in the base game. They are literally saying, hey, this is a $60 game, we just took out $10 worth of it and put it on DLC, which is the Dante stuff. Like, even if, like, there's an argument to even be said, if you include Dante and Nocturne and have Raito in all three versions of the game, you have the original Japanese version, the Maniacs version, and then the version with Raito, which is the base game version that everyone's getting. It's like, okay, those three versions alone probably shouldn't be like $50 or $60, but like there's kind of a excuse there. But by taking out the Dante stuff, making it a $10 DLC charge, and bundling it with digital deluxe versions, it's kind of tricking us into buying a $60 game, even if they think it's not. So, first off, thing I want to say, what do I think this should have cost? I think being smart, and if you wanted to make a lot of people happy, make this base game $30, and then make the version with all the DLC $40. That way, it minimalizes a lot of the DLC cost, and you're still getting quite a bit of money, and people aren't going to look at it like, what am I doing here? So, reasons I don't think it should be $50. Number one, I can still buy for PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2, or like whatever versions like you want. Like, if you want a hard copy of Nocturne, you can buy that for like $20. Nocturne is not a rare game to find. It's still on Amazon. Tons of stores have it. It has been printed a bajillion times. None of those like copies are going to be rare in demand. And guess what? All those copies come with Dante included in the base game for free. So the PS3 version, $10. You can buy that almost everywhere as long as you have a PS3. That is the full game, $10 right there. Yeah, there's no trophies, now there's no voice acting, but the game is going to have less technical problems than the Japanese version, which is currently out. So that goes into the next version. Why should this not cost $50? You still haven't fixed everything. This game was overpriced when it came out for 6,500 yen in Japan, and it's been getting updated, yes, but it's basically had 2 updates, fixed a bit of the menu lag. There's still frame rate issues. The game still has crashing issues. The game still has slowdown problems. And there are so many other little minor details you could get into of it still doesn't correctly list all the staff. Like, they have removed staff from this game that, like, unless they've just been secretly swept under the table at Atlas Japan, like, it makes no sense to not credit Kaneko for being the creative director. Yeah, crediting him for the monster designs, like, yeah, obviously you got to do that, but like, he was the creative director in this. Like, this was very much a product of him and many other talented people. Like, there are like screenwriters and like scripters that are just like not listed as part of the credits and stuff. And for something that was like not that big of a ground up remake, like, this barely classifies as a remaster. Like, this would look lazy by PlayStation 3 HD Collection remastered standards. You look at stuff like the God of War Collection, Sly Cooper Collection, Jak and Daxter Collection. All of those games were multiple games for $30, all had great new features, had new additions, more than just like, okay, yeah, it has trophies, but like, it made genuine quality of life features that make them, like, in most cases, the definitive version of a lot of these games. Like, look at Shadow of the Colossus and Eco Collection, and even looking at some third-party ones. Look at the Devil May Cry HD Collection. That is a super, super bare-bones HD collection. But it was like $30 for 3 games and super, super fun. And even that got reported again to current-gen systems and still super holds up because they knew the price of it. This is a niche PlayStation 2 game that, not a lot of people have played. A lot of people in the fandom have played. But, like, sending this thing out in May 2021 is just, like, sending it out to the slaughter. And I don't know if they're doing that on purpose. I don't know if they felt like that was the soonest they can make it happen. Spoilers, the game's done. They could release it whenever they want. Like, have at it, do whatever you want. I think April would have been a lot smarter of a release plan. But clearly, they've got their own agendas. That's what they want to do. Whatever. I think putting this out in the same month is stuff like, you're going to be up against Resident Evil Village, you're going to be up against things like Deathloop, there's going to be a lot more next-gen chatter, people are going to be talking about new things. People in the press are not going to care about Nocturne for the most part. People in the fandom are going to care about it, sure, but like, you're not going to have something like, you're not going to see Persona 5 Strikers numbers for Nocturne Remaster. There's no amount of, hey, aren't you excited about SMT 5? Well, you should check out SMT 3 HD. Like, that's going to really scratch your itch. Like, people are going to look at it like that, and it's been so funny of like seeing all these people on Twitter and stuff being like, guys, if you love Persona 5, don't sleep on Nocturne. It's like Persona 5 should like not even come up at all with it. It's just like it's a great RPG, it's a great Atlus game. Check it out if you want. But like honestly, the big thing I've been telling people, and the big thing I want to stress here for all of you all listening, if you're, and also the whole point of this video, I should have probably said this at the beginning. I've said this a million times in other places though. I'm complaining about the price. Obviously, I'm gonna buy it day one. My personal plan, I'm going to be buying it day one on PS4, and the way it mostly works is like, where I live in the States, if you go to Walmart, most games are going to be like $10 off on launch, as long as they're not Sony games. So if you go to a Walmart on day one and find this game, it's going to be like closer to 40 bucks than 50. But either way, I'm going to buy it day one physically on PS4, but I'm going to wait for that Switch version to pick it up for the collection, because guess what? There's no pre-order bonus incentive for physical stuff. There is absolutely no way this game stays at that $50 price for long. That game is going to be bargain bin by June. I would not be surprised if you see $30 listings or cheaper by the end of June, and please hold me to that. Like, I would love to be proven wrong and this thing ends up being like crazy well, but like, unless they just super underprint this game, which I don't see happening, like even 13 Sentinels, which is a pretty small Atlus print run, there are still copies here and about. Like, it's not rare, it's going to be one of those things that is going to be hard to find eventually. So don't worry about having to rush out to buy it. I know the pre-order situation internationally is a huge mess. Not a lot of countries are still getting it. Physical copies are happening, so that's a bit of a silver lining, but that's literally the bare minimum. There's no collector's edition, there's no steelbook, there's no benefit to buying it at all physically outside of you will have the case and you'll have the disc, and guess what? Fans like me are going to be stupid. We're going to open up that case on day one, and you know what we're going to see? We're going to see an empty case with no manual, no inside art, and we're just going to look at ourselves like, geez, yeah, this was definitely worth 50 bucks. Thanks for, like, compared to the original launch version of Nocturne for $50 on PS2. That came with a game, a full-color manual, a really sweet cover, definitely not pissed yellow colored, and had this awesome, like, CD included with a lot of the day one edition copies. It's like, I get it. Even Atlus knows this game isn't going to sell super well, but it's just super frustrating that, like, a game I already had a lot of trepidation with because of the technical issues available in the Japanese version. It's just, like, so, like, disappointing to me. Because, like, even other little things, like, I saw someone who works for Sega basically being like, oh man, I can't wait for Nocturne, that soundtrack, dude, I'm gonna jam out to that battle theme. And I had to comment, I'm like, dude, like, if you're, like, genuinely a fan, how are you not like, oh boy, hey, we're really proud of this soundtrack, why don't we update the game to not have compressed sound effects? But no, don't get that at all. So many problems with this game still. Obviously, I'm going to buy it, mostly for coverage. Like, honestly, if I wasn't covering the game, going back to my message, I'd say wait. Even if this is your first time playing Nocturne, just wait. It's going to go on sale. Yakuza 7 within a month was like $35. It was just one of those things of, like, games in the West go on sale so fast. And unless there's something just really itching at you to just jump into Nocturne on launch day, please wait. Like, this is one of those games, like, boy, I'm sure not going to do myself any favors getting a review copy, but that hasn't changed my, like, opinion on how I'm going to cover the game. But, like, seriously, right now, the way things are with Nocturne, don't pre-order it. Just wait. Pick it up whenever you want. Don't rush to get it. If you're one of those people who really want to play it and can't wait, I get the digital deluxe edition is tempting, but man, much like what I said with Scramble, I hate that trend. I hate the play it 4 days early option and we only give it to digital people. Why not make a deluxe version for physical people? Why not include, like, why not make like a $10 more expensive version, include a steelbook or something, and then we can play it 4 days early as well? Like, just a giant FU to physical collectors out there for a port that still has so many problems, and I cannot believe how long I've been rambling about this, but I had to get this out of my brain. I've had everything kind of jotting around in my head for so much of, like, man, at the end of the day, still, I'm excited to play this game again. I'm excited to critique it a lot more. I've not played Nocturne from beginning to end in over a decade. Like, I am so excited to jump into this world one more time, because there's still not a lot of JRPGs out there like this. And it is such an important part of Atlus's history. It'll be really great in terms of going into 5, just like going back to, like, the first real big budget Atlus game they've had that's not a Persona game. So it'll be fun from that aspect. I still hope we get more HD remasters of the PS2, but like also, it's just one game, guys. Like, so many companies have like even Square Enix was smart enough to know to bundle Final Fantasy X and X-2. Only in Japan were they like brazen enough to split those games up into 2 full price titles. Like, in America, you'd expect things to kind of be a certain way. That's why we have a lot of games that are either $60, $40, or $20 when they come out. Like, you're either super bargain bin, your budget price, or your full price. Anything else, and it makes people kind of waver. With $50 for Nocturne, people aren't going to be looking at that price and go, oh, I should pay attention to this. People are going to look at that price and go, why is this PS2 game $50? It doesn't look that much better. It doesn't play that much better. It's still 30 frames per second. It still barely can get over 1080p on PS4, PS5. God help that Switch version. God knows Denuvo's not going to do it any favors. I will say the only kind of benefit it has for basically being the same Unity port across 3 different systems, at least Switch owners don't have to be that worried about getting a shafted port. Like, yeah, the Switch version has its own set of problems, but you're not getting that drastically of a different system on Switch compared to things like Persona 5 Strikers and whatnot. Well, that was like over 15 minutes of me complaining, so I hope it all made sense. I would love to know what you all think of Nocturne coming out in May for $50 or $70 if you are an utter mad lad. Let me know what version you plan on getting in the comments below. Let me know what you think of the price. Let me know if you are going to be picking it up, waiting on a sale, what system you're going to get. Are you going for all 3 digital deluxe versions? Please don't be that person. Please don't do that. Please don't buy multiple digital deluxe versions. I promise you don't need to do that. You can wait. But either way, I want to hear what you all think. Sorry again this took me so long to come out. I've been going through a bunch of stuff on my end of like totally destroyed my back last week, and it's just been throwing a huge edge into all of my work. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you all for watching once again. If this was your first time on the channel, please consider subscribing. Talk a whole bunch of more about SMT and Persona news almost every week here. Either way, have a good rest of your day, everybody, and I will see you all later.